I found out my two roommates have a whole podcast about me when I saw their fan mail thanking them for the episode about my eating disorder, so I moved out and got a cat, then moved directly across the street from them just to make them uncomfortable. Background post: impersonator made a fake LinkedIn account. The fake LinkedIn is the first thing that pops up when searching my name on Google. I assume it might have been created in the past month or two because it wasn't there before. I believe I am having trouble being hired because of it. The profile uses my real name, and has the profile pic from my real LinkedIn, but it is distorted to make me look ugly. It lists the wrong majors, I am a college student, and displays a low SAT score. I think it has caused me to be denied from a few jobs I have recently applied for online, not entirely sure, but it is the number one thing that pops up when HR would Google my name. I reported it to LinkedIn, however I am unsure how soon it will be dealt with. There is no customer service number for the website, so I am a bit anxious that it won't get resolved or that it will be ignored. How would I go about this? Is there any better way to get the profile taken down, or at least modify my own profile to have it be number one on results instead of the fake one? Relevant comments. Commenter 1. So make them aware that this profile is fake in your cover letter or initial interview and provide them with your correct profile right on your resume. LinkedIn should clean it up, but you cannot really rush them. Commenter 2. They're using a profile picture of you? Did you take that photo? If so, send LinkedIn a DMCA notice. Commenter 3. Aside from reporting the fake profile, you could look into hiring, or do it yourself if you're so inclined, a search engine optimization service, SEO, to make it so your legit profile rises in the search results, and they may be able to make the other page drop in the results as well. You would have to investigate it though. Commenter 4. It's your roommates. Second post, 11 days later. I'm moving to an apartment with the same two people I've lived with this past year, along with a new person to replace someone moving out, so, including me, it's 4 people total. The one who is moving out is taking her TV with her. I have never used the TV this past year because 1, it wasn't mine, 2, I don't like watching my shows in the living room without privacy, and 3, I didn't have my gaming system with me. I found a cheap 24 inches TV in donations and took it back to the apartment, however my other roommates assume I will be putting it in the living room when we move to the new place in a few weeks, even though I told them I kind of want it in my own room because it is small and I want to be able to play my games when I want. They watch a lot of reality TV. Also, they did nothing to contribute paying for it. Would I be a jerk if I insisted on putting it in my room when we move? Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Not the jerk. You've told them you want it in your room so you can play games. You paid for it, so it is your TV. If they want a TV to watch in the living room, they can pool their money to buy one. Commenter 2. Not the jerk, they shouldn't assume, and something that small is really a one-person TV. Original post, 2 days later. I, 20F, was picking up mail from the mailbox and they got a fan mail postcard sent to them from their friend away at a religious camp. On it described how the podcast update made her day, and described how she laughed at the parts about info pertaining to my eating disorder, mental health, and how they think my new 24M is interesting. AKA they think he's awkward. Not only is it incredibly uncomfortable to think how they're essentially making my life a reality TV show, but the fact that they are sharing info that they promised to keep secret, i.e. my eating disorder and mental health issues, is really distressing. I hear them gossip about me when in adjacent rooms, but I wouldn't have expected a full-blown podcast about my quirks and mess-ups. They're the type to watch a lot of dating reality TV and watch gossipy popular YouTubers, so it makes sense to me that they are the epitome of drama queens. However, this really feels like crossing a line. How do I approach them about this? I have to live with these people for another year. How do I bring up the fact that I know they are talking about me behind my back all the time? Relevant comments. Commenter 1. That's the scariest bad roommate situation I've ever heard. Move out, ASAP. Ops response. Not a troll post, I promise, I'm just unsure of how the move out will go. We are moving to a new apartment in a few weeks and I have the master bedroom and also handle the apartment gas/electricity bill under my name. I'm sure that's the only reason they are still dragging me along, that a large chunk of the apartment's shared belongings are mine, and that losing me in the lease would cost them a lot of money. Commenter 2. Good. Don't sign the lease. These people are jerks. Ops response. I signed the lease last October, they toured the place without me and signed immediately with expectation that I will also join them, so I signed even though I was looking for studio apartments for next year at the time. Op responds to a downvoted comment about faking psychosis or paranoia. Ops response. Okay, just because I have mental health issues doesn't mean that the things I post about are a result of psychosis or paranoia. These things are happening. I try to remove as much emotional bias as I can before I post about my issues. And I've taken the steps necessary to remove the aforementioned LinkedIn profile, so sadly I can't link it, but I can send screenshots if you don't believe me. Commenter 3. I feel like there should be some sort of legal action you can take. Medical information can't be shared without that person's explicit consent, especially to an audience. Commenter 4. I believe that's only true if a person/organization is bound to HIPAA regulations, unfortunately. Ops response: what if one of the roommates has signed a HIPAA agreement but for her research lab? She's in the medical field and works in a lab where she would need to sign something like that. If she signs a HIPAA agreement, does it also pertain to not being able to share my medical info? Commenter 5. Could you report her to her university? That type of thing could for sure constitute as bullying or harassment and would most likely be a violation of the school's code of conduct. Also, I wouldn't want someone like that working in the medical field. Did you keep the fan mail you found? Ops response: I took a picture of it. Update: nearly 4 months later. The mods took down my original post, however I keep getting DMs asking for an update, so here it is. After my post was up, it was added to a few social media news apps, without my permission of course, which really made my anxiety about the situation so much worse. I moved out of my old apartment with a drama roomies and got myself a cat off Craigslist, who I love to death. Anyways, I found 2 new roommates and moved into a new apartment, directly across from where the drama roomies and I were supposed to live. So now I live right across the street from them, which was very weird at first, but then I thought, forget 'em, this is actually some fun passive-aggressive BS that I know will make them uncomfortable. I did not take any legal action, nor did I ask the drama roomies about the podcast or the postcard, because it was not worth my time and would only fuel their ego. Myself and a few others tried to search for the podcast, but couldn't find it, so I'm guessing it was under a pseudonym of some sort. I'm still with the aforementioned, so I'm getting much better grades in my classes, and everyone loves my cat. Life is pretty good right now, and a lot better. Thank you for those who were supportive. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Dang, forget those roommates, that is beyond incredibly messed up. I'm so sorry they pulled that stuff. What kind of sad person does that for attention? Commenter 2. Good for you. Now you can start a podcast about them with your cat. It would be more interesting and I would like a cat's input on life. But seriously, I am glad you are doing better.